All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahawah, YAHAWASHI, Rakak. Double honors to the elders and apostles of great millstone, and peace and blessings to the whole collective Israel. And as you see the title of this article, it's a quote of somebody speaking on pretty much leaving America. It says, "I just want peace of mind." And article says Americans mull leaving U.S. if Trump wins again. All right, so here's the word mull. Etymology of the word mull says to ponder, to turn over in one's mind, right? It says grind to powder. But pretty much going into the world and people in general, their mindset towards so-called America, all right, which were not too long ago, speaking of on a time's perspective, a couple hundred years ago, not even a couple hundred years ago, maybe 40, 50, 60 years ago, so-called America was a place to be. All right, but nowadays you can see, again, the mentality of the people in this country, all right, and the people around the world is that they want to separate themselves from this place. Because ultimately, why? Because it's getting ready to be great destruction, all right? According to so-called America being Babylon, the great according to prophecy, right? But let me go ahead and get it rolling with a precept. It's like I'm trying to clear my throat. But this is Isaiah 47, and I'll just get to the point, start at verse 5. It says, "Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans." All right, so this is a prophecy, okay? So going into Babylon the Great, all right, which we know that mystery word Babylon is so-called America, all right? So sit silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans. All right, because going to darkness, all right, the day of the Lord is compared to darkness, all right, because we can look into, just get into words, let it speak for itself, because this is the time that's coming to so-called America, all right. It says the etymology of darkness, it says absent of light, all right. So, and look at that, sinfulness, wickedness, all right, because you read Revelation, the 18th chapter, it tells you this place, so-called America, its sins have reached onto the heavens, all right. So this place being absent of light, all right, pretty much going to truth. All right, there's no righteousness in this land. All right, going to so-called America. All right, and the rulership of the world as a whole. Okay, because you read Job 9:24, it tells you the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked. All right, so who is the wicked? I read Malachi, the 1st chapter, the 4th verse. It goes into a generation of people, a seed of people, going to the Edomites. Okay, Esau is Edom. All right, that line of wickedness. All right, that line is in power right now. Okay, and that is known as the so-called white race. All right, today's time, okay? But going to that veil is being uncovered. All right, all the secrets, all the things that have been done in darkness, all right, it's being put forth to the light. All right, this place is being exposed. People don't want to be around here no more. All right, because, I'm going to get Jeremiah 51 going to this place being a golden cup. All right, everybody want to come to so-called America. All right, not too long ago, now everybody wants to flee. Because, again, why this place is prophesied to be destroyed. All right, so Isaiah 47 verse 5, "Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans," okay, so-called America, "for thou shalt no more be called the lady of kingdoms," okay, so you go into a woman's beauty, all right, that's what this place was compared onto, all right, because you go into, that whore, all right, in the book of Revelations, all right, she was dressed in scarlet, all right, pretty much in royal colors, all right, because this place, was decked out, all right, it was beautiful, all right, that's why the apostle John, okay, John the Revelator, all right, okay, he got rebuked by the angel because why? Because he was pretty much seduced by her beauty. All right, again, making the comparison to so-called America. All right, the high-rise buildings, the glory, this place, pretty much being a fun land. All right, nice cars, beautiful women. All right, sin cities. Okay, but it says, "For thou shalt be no more called the lady of kingdoms." All right, the standard of beauty, okay, was so-called America. All right, just like you have standard of beauty, would be blonde hair, blue eyes, okay? This place is not going to be compared no more and be called the Lady of Kingdoms, okay? Like it says in, I think it's in, I don't know, this quarter, maybe Nehemiah, going into, Slaki again, going into this place being the standard of, not the standard of beauty, the excellency of the Chaldeans, if I'm not mistaken. I'll probably just get it. Well, Jay can't spell. I know it's in Nehemiah. Not Nehemiah, Nahum. The well-favored harlot, that's what it was. All right, so this place, the well-favored harlot, okay, the whore, okay, because this place is called a whore. Why? Because of all of its spiritual fornication, okay, this, the witchcraft, the sorceries, okay, because scriptures say, and I think in the book of Samuel says, rebellion is as a sin of witchcraft. All right, so this place, in the book of Isaiah says the turning of things upside down. Okay, that's ultimate rebellion. Okay, that's why you have upside down crosses, and so on and so forth as rebellion against the Most High. All right, these devils building skyscrapers, okay, trying to pretty much, make themselves equal with the Most High. Okay, that's rebellion. All right, and I might as well get this. This is Nahum chapter 3 in verse 4. Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts, that selleth nations through her whoredoms and families to her witchcrafts. All right. So going into that, this place being a merchant city, everybody wants to come to so-called America and do deals. All right. The so-called Chinese man, okay, so-called Japanese man, okay, so on and so forth. About these nations, again, doing deals with the whore, okay, being so-called America. All right, making trade deals, okay, making covenants, okay, with the devil. All right. So, again, so-called America, being the well-favored harlot, okay, the favorite, okay, now is the time where this place is being revealed and exposed to what it really is, all right, which is an out of shape, okay, pot smoking devil, okay, hair all jacked up, stinks. Okay, that's what this place is being exposed, because I'm going to keep reading this, Nahum 3 and 5. Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord YAHAWAH, Bahashim Yahshua of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face. Okay, so the shame. Okay, I'm gonna keep reading. And I will shew the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. Okay, so again, you can go into the history of this place. Okay, nothing but bloodshed has been the legacy of so-called America, which is ran by the so-called white men. All right, so what they want to do at school now is they don't want to teach you about slavery. They don't want to teach you about their history, because it's a shame. Okay, how this place came into power. All right. This place has shame as glory, all right? All the innocent blood has been spilled still to this day. Okay, here it is, this devil now, he's going to force people to take these vaccinations that got, what is it? Not hermit crab, horseshoe crab, in it, and what more, again, going to these RFID microchips, which is a mark of the beast, okay? So ultimately, the devil is going to be stopped, okay, because it's for your own welfare. Okay, scriptures talk about when the wicked are on authority, people mourn. All right, when the righteous are on authority, people are going to rejoice. All right, so obviously people aren't rejoicing here in so-called America because they're leaving. All right, but I'll go back to the Isaiah 47, but let me read some of this article. It says ahead. So this came out November 2nd. Okay, today's date is November 13th. So almost a couple weeks old. But here, ahead of Election Day, American Gabby Mayers has booked a flight to London. She loves the United States a lot, but she says life is hard enough without the specter of surging gun sales, right? The sword, modern-day sword being the gun, are extremists plotting to abduct elected officials, sedition, and brawls in Times Square amid a caravan of maskless Donald Trump supporters flaunting social distancing measures. All right, it says, all I've ever wanted to do is just be happy and have peace of mind. And I'm not able to do that in this country, said Mayers, a 25-year-old producer in New York City. All right, so again, going into the mentality of, the Americans, okay, the so-called Americans, and, the mentality of the people around the world toward this country. All right, again, going into the beast hating the whore. All right, you have the NATO and the EU going to the wicked power structure of so-called white man Esau Edom. All right, they're getting ready to what? Hate the whore that rides on the beast. Okay, because so-called America is the head of that power structure. Okay, they're the one more stout than his fellows. All right, the look more stout than his fellows, if you're paraphrasing in the book of Daniel. Okay, that little horn. All right, just talking about so-called America. All right, but now all eyes are what? Aimed at so-called America, because this is going to be, like they say, the showdown. Okay, what is going to happen next? All right, here it is now, going into the elections. We still don't know who our president's going to be. All right, that's why this place is called Babel the Great. This place is nothing but pure confusion. All right, and people are scared and they're getting ready to what? They want to leave. But they're not going to be able to leave because there's going to be martial law. All right, and travel restrictions when this second lockdown hits. All right, but let me go back again. Slacky, I don't know what's freaking wrong with my throat. This is Isaiah 47, and Isaiah 47, and what was that? I'll read verse 5 again. Isaiah 47, verse 5. Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt be no more called the lady of kingdoms. All right, verse 6. I was wroth with my people. I have polluted my inheritance. All right, so who's the Lord's people? All right, it's going to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, so the Lord was angry with us. All right, and keep on reading. And giving them into thine hand. Okay, so we were given over to the so-called white man, Esau, Edom. All right, to be led into our captivity. All right. So that was supposed to happen. All right. But what wasn't supposed to happen, which, I say that, not saying that the Lord's not in control, but how this devil went above and beyond his measures. Okay. Went above and beyond his pay grade. All right. That he forgot that the Lord actually hates him. Okay. The Lord hates him. All right. And I'm going to keep reading. Thou didst shew them no mercy. All right. So us being the children of YAHAWASHI, okay, even though we're being punished, all right, there's a certain extent you're supposed to go as far as execution of punishment. Okay, you go into, when we're under the Persian captivity. All right, they let us rebuild the temple. Okay, going to Cyrus. All right, but here in this land, we have no continuity. We have, we get in trouble for calling ourselves who we really are. They take down our videos. Okay, they hunt brothers down, track them down. Okay, send spies. All right, and give us hell. Okay, when it comes to the time of persecution, all right, they're gonna try to kill us. Okay, so thou didst shew them no mercy. All right, going to the so-called white man, and you other heathen nations too. Okay, because you're involved in confederacy. Okay, you come together. This new world order, it does not involve you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans. You have these other nations jockeying for position because why? Because they're in league, all right, with this new world order system. Okay, so they're not going to go unpunished either. All right, but going to judgment, you go to the head first, you go to the top first. Okay, that's what happened to us. Okay, going to Judah, the whole head is sick. Isaiah the 1st chapter, so the Lord came after the heads of our nation, so he's coming after the heads of Esau, Edom, so white man, which is Amalek. Okay, the so-called the false Jews. Okay, the imposters. But I don't want to ramble. This is upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke. All right, so you Google search a yoke of iron. What pops up? The so-called Negro man in slavery. All right, because you go into the book of Deuteronomy, the 20th chapter, it goes into us being sold, all right, and brought over here on cargo slave ships. All right, we've been brought. We shall be brought into Egypt again with ships. Okay, so again meaning a second time. Okay, read Revelation 11th chapter in the 7th verse. It talks about this place being known as spiritual Sodom and spiritual Egypt. All right, spiritual Egypt because it's the place of our great captivity. All right, and where all the nations, of our tribe are here together being oppressed under the same person, the same ruler. Okay, now in this time is the so-called white men. Okay, but so this is verse 7, and thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever. Okay, so again, going into this glory that this place has is because of what? The blood, sweat, and tears of these so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which you've been wrongly, unjustly, destroyed. Okay. And again, you have to understand the whole story, the spectrum of the story of YAHAWASHI and his prophecy. So it's supposed to happen. But again, this Esau, Edom, so-called white man, he went off. Okay. And now the Lord's going to judge him. Okay. This is Isaiah 47, verse 7. All right. Because again, the scriptures talk about Obadiah says that the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee. All right. He thinks he's going to get away with what he's doing. All right. This is verse 7. And thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever. So, again, this place flourishing. Okay. You watch movies like, what is it called? Pretty much going into that sci-fi stuff, those sci-fi movies. You got flying cars, you got Esau traveling to Mars, okay, going to different galaxies and pretty much, trying to steal back his blessing, okay? So Esau thinking his house is going to continue forever. All right, he says, I'm gonna be on top forever. I'm going to be the ruler forever. All right, but, he doesn't understand how this thing works, all right? He has a set bound which he cannot pass. And that time is now where he's going to be judged. So I'm going to keep reading Isaiah 47, verse 7. And thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart. So, what he's been doing on the earth, he doesn't lay it to heart because he doesn't think he doesn't think he's going to be judged for it. So, him, what he did to our people, still to this day, what he does around the earth, destroying the earth. All right. He doesn't lay it to heart because he doesn't think he's gonna be in trouble for it. It says, neither didst thou remember the latter end of it. Okay, so the latter end of that contract, going to Esau's blessing, is that, the elder shall serve the younger. All right, so he forgot that part in the contract. He forgot that the elder, he was born first, Esau. Okay, going to the story of Jacob and Esau, he shall serve the younger. Okay, so he didn't consider the latter end of the contract. All right, he didn't receive the ultimate blessing. He ultimately received the curse. All right, he received a blessing in haste and in vain. All right, and ultimately it was because why the Lord set him up to be that vessel of dishonor. All right, but I don't want to make the lesson too long. Let me get rolling. So Jeremiah 51, because they're going to the point of the article why it came out. People are leaving here, all right, because this place is starting to reek. Okay, no one wants to be in so-called America no more. All right,